Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. Anime Facts About. Without further ado, let's start this with an intro. One Piece, 10 plot holes that broke the world's logic. Eiichiro Oda's One Piece is an iconic manga and anime franchise with tight writing and fantastic world building. Most of the time, anyway. The story of One Piece been going for about 22 years now, and we're still far from its conclusion. So, how has a story so arduously long still managed to maintain itself as the most popular manga of all time? Well, that's because its author, Eiichiro Oda, is truly a world-class writer. Sure, One Piece is full of tropes and cliches, but because of how Oda writes, there are very rarely any big plot holes. Most inconsistencies can be explained within world logic or are later fixed. But from what we could find, here's One Piece, 10 plot holes that broke the world's rules. Number 10. Zoro cuts off his feet but fights 10 minutes later. One of the earlier storylines of One Piece is the Alabasta arc. This was centered around Princess Vivi and the Shikibuchi, warlord crocodile. During their fight on Little Garden prior to Alabasta, Vivi, Nami, and Zoro became trapped in a wax cake set to explode. It was at this time Zoro decided to cut off his feet so he could escape, as any normal person would, and get some way through the procedure before Luffy showed up. Zoro fights again not much later, which makes absolutely no sense considering how grave the injury was, or how other injuries in the show required much more time to heal. Number 9. Hockey as a concept, but especially before the time skip. Like it or not, it's pretty apparent the Oda wrote in hockey at least partway through the pre-time skip storyline. Hardening hockey post-time skip has always been shown visually by the user covering their body in this black metal-like material. Before said time skip, this hockey is apparently used but never named, is invisible rather than black, and no one knows what's going on. For example, when Rayleigh kicks Kizaru's hand out of the way on the Sabayati archipelago, that shouldn't have been possible. There are numerous examples like this throughout early One Piece, but it's safe to say that the idea of the three branches of hockey was retroactively added to the story. Number 8. Vivi somehow didn't get recognized in Crocodile's organization. People quickly forget that Vivi and Ingram spent a long time infiltrating Baroque Works. But the only problem is, Baroque Works was run by Crocodile. Oh, just the same man who was trying to take over Alabasta for years. How did he not recognize that Princess Vivi was missing? And, if somehow he didn't notice, does he not do background checks for anyone in Baroque Works? Do people not know what Vivi looks like? How in the world was the literal princess of a kingdom allowed to infiltrate this organization with just a simple outfit change? Number 7. Kato's suicidal, but doesn't act like it. One of the most fearsome characters in One Piece was introduced quite recently, and it's the immortal Kaido. Alongside Big Mom, Shanks, and Blackbeard, this towering example of a man is one of the New World Emperors. Yet the first couple of times we saw him, he was trying to die. There are plenty of foolproof ways Kaido could genuinely die. We know he's most likely a Dragon Zone Devil Fruit user, so he could easily just, well, jump into the ocean. As he manufactures devil fruits with Smile, Kaido could just eat a second one. Number 6. Shanks gives up his arm to a pipsqueak-sized Sea King. This is probably the most disputed plot hole in all of One Piece. Back when Luffy was a kid, there was a moment when he was in the middle of the sea and a Sea King was on its way to eat him. At the last second, his idol Shanks saves him while sacrificing his arm. However, the Sea King shouldn't have been able to touch him, especially if Shanks used his Conqueror's Haki. Many people say this was a symbolic act, and Shanks bet his arm on the next generation of pirates like Luffy. While a neat idea, that is very obviously an excuse. Number 5. Ace and Blackbeard forgot about hockey. A lot of these problems come back to hockey, but it's a huge part of the series. One of the worst examples is with Ace and Blackbeard. Both of these aspiring pirate kings were part of Whitebeard's crew. Ace was the star pupil and Blackbeard was the blasphemous traitor. Whitebeard was one of the most powerful pirates out there. So why, when Ace and Blackbeard fought, did neither use hockey? Ace should have known it, and it would have easily helped him win against Blackbeard. Instead, Oda made a point of Blackbeard stating that his darkness devil fruit is the specific reason why he could hit Ace. Number 4. Legends, lore, and myths in One Piece. Information in One Piece is inconsistent at best. Sometimes the Marines seem to know everything about every pirate crew, at other times, they think that Tony Chopper is just a simple pet. Remember, at the beginning and before the Grand Line, devil fruits were rare and most people didn't even think they existed, but now they're exceedingly common. What about Skypiea? It was said that the place didn't even exist and no one had been there, but it seems like every pirate in the worst generation passed through and Kaido even took a swan dive from Skypiea. Number 3. Water, running water, ocean water, and devil fruit users. So devil fruits give the user a Logia, Paramesha, or Zone-type supernatural ability. And, in exchange, the users lose all will and strength in water. Weirdly enough though, that definition is too vague. For a while, most assumed it was just any water, but if that were the case then devil fruit users could never bathe without drowning. Now, most readers infer that it's probably just still water, but in the film Z movie, Luffy and Brook lose control of their power in still baths. Yet, in this same scene, Aokiji controls his by making an ice leg even though he's currently standing in water. It's just inconsistent. Number 2. Sanji's varying devil fruit knowledge. Sanji is the Thousand Sunny's cook and overall gentleman. For a while, he was the guy to depend on whenever Luffy or Chopper fell into the ocean as his insanely strong legs allowed for some speedy aquatic rescue. When he first saved Luffy on the Baratie, he seemed surprised to find out that devil fruit users are useless in water. However, later on in the Thriller Bark arc, Sanji talks about how much he obsessed over a certain book as a kid that spoke of all the currently known devil fruits and their drawbacks. Which means Sanji should have known as soon as Luffy fell off the Baratie just what that meant. Number 1. The Pell Explosion Conundrum. And here it is, the biggest plot hole in all of One Piece. This one has been talked about continuously since it came out and still doesn't make much sense. At the end of the Alabasta arc, Crocodile plants a bomb in the city that's comparable to a nuke. And, in order to save the island, a palace guard by the name of Pell sacrifices himself. Pell has the Hawk Zone-type devil fruit, and he flies the nuke into the sky where he supposedly perishes in the explosion. But, after Luffy and crew leave, Pell is seen visiting his own grave, alive and well. So that's it guy. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you like this video kindly click the like button. And please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. So that you will be updated for future videos. Bye.